everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar on Silogen's inventory. Before I introduce our speaker, I'd like to give you a little background on our company. Silogen was founded in 2010 to address some of the unmet needs in the field of research informatics. Silogen provides a web-based cross-browser integrated system for knowledge sharing, collaboration, data mining, and material management. And it's good to note that even though our system allows for collaboration, it can easily restrict certain data between groups, so it's a very secure system. And our team of scientists and developers work closely to build solutions that truly fit the workflow of life science research. This is an overview of our products. All of Silogen's modules can be used separately or integrated together for your company's workflow. And we have everything from electronic laboratory notebook to a registration system and assay database, LIMS system, quality management system for manufacturing, scientific data management system. And we recently added our clinical sample management system. And of course, today we are going to cover our inventory system. And our PMF system is sort of the workflow engine that drives all of our products. Now I would like to introduce our speaker, Teresa Keneally. Teresa joined Silogen's support team in early 2016 as an application scientist. Dr. Keneally manages and supports current inventory systems and has implemented new systems for numerous pharmaceutical and biotech companies. She holds a PhD in microbiology from the University of Massachusetts Amherst and has previously worked in AstraZeneca's infectious disease division as a research scientist. I also want to bring to your attention that we do have a question and answer section. So feel free to fill out any questions you have during the presentation, and Dr. Keneally will answer them at the end. Also, at the end of the presentation, I will be emailing everybody a survey. And please give us some feedback on today's presentation, or just let us know if there's any topics that you would like us to cover.
Thank you, Christiana, for that introduction. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today to explore Silogen's inventory. In particular, we will look at management and tracking of the laboratory samples, and briefly, how Silogen's inventory can help with safety compliance. Now we'll leave our slides and jump into our demo site. As Christiana mentioned, Silogen's inventory is web-based, and I've accessed it, our demo site, through this URL. And as Christiana mentioned, the inventory can be accessed on most devices and browsers. So on the screen now, we are looking at the sign-in page, and I will draw your attention to the middle of the page. Each user will sign in with their email and personal password. Now we are on the home page, and there's a lot of information on the screen here. We will be describing most of these items during the course of this webinar. But if we don't mention something on which you would like more information, please ask a question in the chat window or contact us after the webinar. Briefly, there is a top menu bar and the home page dashboard. On the dashboard, we see My Products and Packages, and also on the right-hand side, products that others have entered in projects that I am a member of. On the top menu bar, you can see the admin icon. Some users are also admins, and if you are not an admin, you won't see this icon. Admins can add users, and using the projects icon, admins can add and edit project categories and add and edit projects under the categories and members under the projects. Non-admins won't be able to see these new and edit icons. So now that we have looked at the layout and how to get started using the inventory, let's jump into the topics that we are going to cover in this webinar. First, how Xylogen's inventory can help track an array of sample types. So once the projects have been set up, and this can be configured for whatever projects are available in your company, and the member is added, users can add products using the product icon. On the left hand of the screen here, there is a list of product categories. And again, this list is configurable. You could add your office supplies here if you wanted. The forms for each product category are also editable to best fit your company's workflow. Under each product category, the hierarchy starts with products. For each product, there can be several lots, which could be products from different vendors. And under each lot, there can be many packages or containers. The package level describes what is available on your company's shelf. We will look at a sample product, small molecule. Let's look at the product level first. A new product is added by clicking on the new icon. A structure can be drawn using the structure icons, or it can be added using our special name to structure feature in our proprietary JavaScript-based structure editor, JSDraw. So as this name to structure feature is connected with public databases, I can add, for an example, something readily recognizable, Advil, and the structure will pop up. Among all the other properties you can add here, you can also attach MSDSs at this level. And as I mentioned before, these forms are configurable to whatever best suits your workflow. I'll click Save. Oops. Some required fields are blank. Here's where you would add those project codes and names that we've set up before. Save. So under the a product, I can enter a lot under that product. You can add a lot number or automatically generate one, add in vendors, any other information you want, and you can also at this point add some files, for example, a certificate of analysis. I'll just easily pick a file from my desktop, certificate of analysis, open, upload, and it's added and is previewable. So I will save this. Now under the lots level, I can enter a new package. You can add a location, and we'll be looking at this location feature later. You can automatically generate a barcode, fill in an amount, and any other information that you want. And your package is entered into the inventory system. There are a lot of icons here on the package level. I'd just like to draw your attention to the edit icon right now. You will see this very often. And here, if you select a package, you can also edit your package, change the amount, or add a volume or concentration. I'd also like to point out here the package history button. If you click on this, it shows you the history of your package from the day it's created. You will see this feature at the lot level as well as the product level. Okay. So I mentioned there's a lot of different icons here, and we'll be covering more of these when we talk about the next item. The next item we'd like to cover, we just saw how to add a molecule manually, but there is a second way to add items seamlessly to the inventory if the Xylogen's inventory is integrated with an electronic notebook or registration system. We will look at the Xylogen's workflow here. But if you have an existing system, the Xylogen's development team can work with you to connect to Xylogen's inventory through APIs via web services. The Xylogen systems can be easily accessed by clicking on the icon in the top left. We will look at the flow of information from the ELN to registration to inventory, so I will open the ELN here. The layout for the ELN and registration systems are similar to inventory, so I will not describe them here. I'll just quickly scroll to my notebook, and then I will add a new experiment just for an example, a chemistry experiment, single-step reaction. And I'd just like to draw your attention to the notebook number here. I'm in notebook number 17, and I'm on my 43rd experiment, or page 43. So I will click on this experiment, and I will draw a reaction in the Silagent structure editor that you've already seen in the inventory. So using the same name to structure, I'll enter Advil. The structure pops up, and then I can quickly create my reaction with the reaction to product button. Then I can add from the shared reagent database a reagent, methanol. Okay, and finish my reaction. So clicking outside the box, you can see that our reaction has been filled in, our reactants and products. So I'll just add an amount here and click outside. Everything is filled in, including our theoretical yield, a theoretical amount that we get. I'll just fill in an actual amount and point out here the sample ID, which is the notebook number, followed by a P1. So now I'm going to register this product by clicking on our Register Products button. And you can see the sample ID change from the notebook number to a pre-formatted registration number, which is also hyperlinked. So you can click on this hyperlink, and we have been transported to the registration system. You can see the product that we have just registered. Any information that we added to ELN has been carried over the notebook page, so you can easily link back. And here in the container section, our package has been added to the inventory. So if we click on this product number, we are now back into inventory, and our package has been created here with the amount. So we have a couple of icons here. If we had a couple of different packages we wanted to merge, we could use the merge button, but I'm just going to show the split here. So if we split our package, we have 10 grams right now. Let's create a new barcode, and we want to take out 4 grams into a new package. Click Save. You see now we have two packages. And if I go back to the registration system and refresh the page, you can see now that the information has been carried over back into the registration system. We have now created our 2 packages. Okay. So let's go back to inventory and find that at the home page, the molecule we just added. Refresh the page. Or we can click back to our molecule, to the registration system. Our refresh is done. So the molecule we've just split here, and we can see that there is no location associated with this molecule right now. So now I'd like to show you how inventory handles location. So let's look at the locations icon on the top menu bar. On the left hand of the screen here, you can see our location tree and a couple of the icons you are already familiar with, the new and the edit. The tree expands. You can see from the site level to a grid level. And if we click on something, we can see a product, we can see the information on the right-hand side of the screen. To add to the location tree, you just click on the level where you want to add something. For example, I want to add a new shelf to the refrigerator. Click on our new button, you can add a barcode for location, shelf 2, add a name, and you can see we have a variety of location types here. This is also configurable if you have other locations that you want added. We're adding a new shelf. If you're adding a grid, you can enter the rows and columns for the grid here. Save, and you can see we've entered a second shelf with nothing in it yet. So you can see all the items of any location. If we click on one of these items, for example, the first item is in the Cambridge site. We return to the products page, and we can select this package. You can see it's in the Cambridge location right now. Click on the change locations icon, select a site to location on which you want to move the item to. Say OK. You can write a note if you want, and now the new location is recorded here. And if we look at the history, we can see where the change was made. Okay. So now that we've seen how to enter data, let's look how to search that data. In the top menu bar, there are two searches. There is a quick search and an advanced search. Using the quick search, you could look up anything from product number, product name, CAS number, lot number, barcode. For example, if we looked up Advil, it pops up in our drop-down menu. We can search for that. Using the second search, the advanced search, we can search by text again, or we can search by a structure. Let me enter a new structure. So again, you can use the name to structure, which is connected with public databases, so you can find most items, or you can draw your own structure. And then there's a variety of search types. You can search for the substructure, or full structure, or somewhere in between. You can also do a sequence search. You can fill in a project that you want to search in and a molecule type. We'll search for this structure using a substructure search. So this should find everything with that substructure. For an example here, if we click on the edit button, we can see that that structure is here. If you want to do a more specific full structure search, you can pick the full structure, search, and you see one item pops up with that exact structure. Now let's go back to our query again and try a sequence search. So I'm going to type in something that I know is already here, type in all caps, search, and you see our protein sequence with that sequence in it pops up. You can see that sequence is recorded here. So now I'd like to discuss the last topic today about some ways that inventory can be used to manage costs and quality control. Since we're looking at the protein sequence form, we'll start here. And for example, at the product level, you can do a low stock amount and a low stock amount alert. So you can enter whatever low stock amount is the impetus to reorder this product. And then you can get daily, the system can search daily or weekly, whenever you want, to see what items are in low stock, and then you can be automatically notified by email with a list of the low stock items. And we all know that this is a good time and cost saver, as you will be notified before the items will be used up. And this saves on rush orders and time waiting for restock. So in the same protein form at the lot level this time, you can take a look. You can see we also have expiration reminders. You can just fill in the date, click the box, and QC. In QC, you can say passed or failed, and QC expiration dates. So you'll know when to do your QC again. And again, here you can upload certificate of analysis or your links to your MSDS. And as I've mentioned before, this is in the protein form, but all these forms are configurable, so you can add these alerts to any form where they are required. Okay. I'd also like to point out here that you can also add hazard flags to your items if they are, for example, toxic or flammable, and this can be done according to your company requirements. So these alerts that I've mentioned, the low stock alert or the expiry alert, can be monitored by the admin. Under the admin icon in the QC management, you would just pick a query type. You can do it by project code as well if you like, narrow it down. You can pick samples in low stock, query, and you will see that the alert amount is here, and it's under this, the actual amount is under the alert amount. Or for an example, you can look at the expired QCs, hit query, and you can see that the expiration date is passed for all these items. So, and you can also print out a report, and it gets in an Excel file that you can open or send. Okay. So now we have covered all the items we wanted to bring to your attention today. I'll just move back to our slides. So we've looked at the Siligence inventory. As we mentioned before, it's a web-based solution where you can efficiently manage and track your samples. And today we've learned how Siligence inventory can help you track a variety of sample types, how it can be integrated with other solutions such as registration systems and electronic notebooks for your workflow management. We've looked at how inventory handles location and how you can search within the inventory, and also some ways how you can manage costs and quality control using hazard flags and alerts. So thank you for joining us today to explore the Siligence inventory.
And now we'll welcome any questions that you guys have about the presentation. And also, sorry about the beginning, but I will send out a recording of the webinar with the missing screen portions along with the survey. So someone asked if we could show the home screen again and show how you can make someone an admin.
Okay. Let's jump out of our slides. Yep. Okay. So here is our home screen. There's a bunch of actions that we didn't cover. If you need any more information, such as batch import, it's very handy. We can look at those at a later date if anybody is interested. And you just see your products, the products that you have entered, the packages you have entered, and then any items that are in any project that anybody has entered are on the right-hand side. So the admin button is here. We set up the first, Siligence will set up the first user, the first admin, and then afterwards the admin can set up all the other users. And again, it's just the new button, edit button, so very easy. You've seen it all already. For new, add the email, first name, last name, and then people can enter their own password. And you just click active, and if they leave the company, you just make them inactive. So the admins will still have access to all the user data, but the user will not be able to access. And then you see if you're admin, you'd also have this button clicked. So quite quick. And then if you want to edit somebody, you just click on the edit button.
Can your product register antibody drug conjugates?
Yes. We have, yes, under ADC, we have the antibody drug conjugates, sorry. And I'll just see if there's actually, I haven't looked at this in a while, so we'll just see if there's any information in here. No. So you can register the same way that we say in the small molecule, and your 3 parts, the antibody, the small molecule will carry over, the linker will carry over.
And if there's no other questions, you can feel free to send us any questions that you may have at info@siligence.com, and we can answer them via email. Oh, I have another question. Do you have a workflow that requires approval of a product being requested?
Yes, good question. So I show the integration between inventory, the electronic notebook, and registration system. And as Christiana mentioned at the beginning, we also have the project management framework. And this is a system where you can create workflows such as that. If you can have a 3-pronged workflow where if you want to purchase, it will just go straight through the workflow. If it's not a controlled substance, if it's controlled substance, it will go to a manager or a purchaser for approval before it will go into the purchasing workflow. And it can be rejected at some point. And whole management workflow, once it's set up in the project management workflow, you can access it through the inventory, and you will never have to think about the project management workflow again once it's set up. So you would just, for example, click on a request to purchase here, and it would come to the workflow.
How many number of users can your system scale to?
We've never had an upper limit. So for one company, for our electronic notebook, we have 6,000 users. We have to go from 1 or 5 users to like 50 users to, on the upper level, 4,000, 5,000 users.
Enterprise level.
Enterprise level? Oh. Yeah. So 6,000 is. So yeah, I don't think we have an upper limit of users.
Can you order assay plates?
I'm not sure exactly what the question means, but you can set up plates. You can add compound into plates using this system with our under our plates icon. So, oh, if you can order plates as an inventory, yes, sorry. Office supplies, laboratory supplies, yes, you could just add them here into your system. And if you have, for example, if you enter them into the products, then you'd have all the information there to reorder. Yes, sorry about that. I was just thinking about how to set up a plate. Can you enter in a plate filled with compounds for a biological assay? Yes, I believe like you can, if the information is in an Excel spreadsheet, you could upload that information straight into the plate template. Yes. Sorry, the next question is, can the system be linked to a barcode scanner or a scale? And that's obviously a good question. A couple of the items I didn't look at here was the print barcode. So you can select an item first. Select an item. Select an item. You can print the barcode, you can select which printer you want to print from, and you can enter multiple barcodes separated by a comma. And you can configure what you want written on the barcodes. For the scanner, you can use your mobile device to scan a barcode and enter the system into, you can see that it's yellow here, you just can scan a barcode in, it will turn green and automatically go into your system. Anywhere that happens. And for the scales at the lot level, there's this button here, select weigh station. You can connect with your electronic scales and the information can be automatically uploaded. The amount can be automatically uploaded into this area.
Do you have any fulfillment integrate to TCAN, tube to plate, or acoustic delivery into plate?
So we're talking about getting data from robotic systems. Yeah, we can set up workflows to push data to a robotic system for setting up you can set up in the inventory and push the data to the robotic system where they can fill your plates in the way that's specified, and the information can be pushed back. And sorry, the tube to plate question. Yes, we can set up workflows that you can dilute in your tube, grab the right amount. You can associate it with the electronic scales, as I said, and if there is a you want to weigh a certain amount, but you weigh the actual amount, you can enter that information here in, and it will automatically subtract from what's in your inventory system. Then you can transfer it to the plate and transfer that information to the robotic system so it can actually do the work. So it's specific. The integration to talk to the robotic systems, do we have to build it or do we have APIs? We use APIs for a lot of integration. I'm not sure for the robotic systems, but yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure on the answer to that. Obviously, we have to set it up specifically for your workflow.
I'm using ELN and registration system from other supplier. Can your PMF and inventory be integrated with them?
Yes, using the APIs that were just mentioned, we just have to see what your system is and work with the other systems and their requirements to integrate with our system.
How many customers does Silogens have?
I'm not exactly sure, but we have customers from biotech, government agencies, universities. I've never actually counted, but we have we have a lot of companies in the US, in China, in Europe. So I couldn't give a ballpark number. But they range from sizes from, as we've said before, from 5 members to thousands, and from CROs to just virtual startups.
Could you tell me how to use the packages menu?
Oh, okay. So under the packages, you can see all the different items you have. For example, you could see hazardous packages, packages that are disposed. They'd have the status of disposed, empty packages, packages that have been emptied, used packages for the status used. Then you can see other expired packages, hazardous packages. So it's just a quick look of different statuses of your packages. And if you wanted to make a report of, for example, all your expired packages, you could export to an SDF or an Excel file. So the packages menu is just like where you can look and see what's in your inventory. Quick look. So for an example, you wouldn't be able to see voided packages in your inventory, but you could see them through this packages level.
So we have a few minutes left. Does anybody have any last minute questions for Teresa? Well, if nobody has any other questions, then we can end our webinar here. Thank you so much for attending today. Again, I'm sorry about the hiccup in the beginning. I will send you a recording of today's webinar with the missing slides from the beginning of the session. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.